Hello, hello. You shouldn't take this. You shouldn't take this vehicle. It's my how it describe. You can take another vehicle if it's possible for you. No, don't take. Yeah, thank you.
Back in now, and I'm going to give a note. I'm going to get it out of the way there. But the get speed percentage there just had a literal flash and dash for a matter of seconds.
We've got GTP pit stops taking place. A few more GT cars that are making their way into the pits for emergency service. Among them, the Rahal Letterman Lanigan McLaren. But it's a busy pit lane, Bruce, with the GTP cars, most of them just doing top-offs, it looks like, because we just had pit stops a little while ago. This is really just about resetting the fuel, everybody getting back on the same sequence here, because they were still quite a ways away, 30, 40 minutes away from needing to make a pit stop.
Yeah, it's always a question, do I come in? Now, one of the two Porsche Bentley Motorsport called Lawrence Van Toors, number 6, they've decided that is coming into fuel. They're doing other inspections as well, so actually, maybe it's something else. Maybe something got in the side ducting of the car. Don't forget that a short while ago, they had to go wide to go past another car. It was just basically, as the full course yellow was about to be thrown. So I think this is the first potential problem for Porsche Bentley Motorsport. Number 6, sitting in the pit lane. Julian Andlauer leading the way in the sister car, that's car number 7. But suddenly, having had a textbook run thus far, Porsche Penske Motorsport have got an issue.
the first fly in the ointment for the team that has dominated this race thus far. It looks like possibly some bodywork damage on the right-hand side of the car. And could this have been from that moment with the Lamborghini that we discussed earlier?
Well, he had the duck underneath it. He was trying to go above, and the Lamborghini came down low. No flame attached to either party, but he ran off below the white line, off the bottom of the banking at Speedway 3, I think it was. Just possibly picked up some damage.
It appears to be either a hole in the bodywork, or at least it's scuffed off the wrap. Can't tell if we're actually looking through the bodywork or if it's just down to the carbon, and that explains the dark circle that we see there that has presumably stemmed from contact of some description. Whether or not it was the incident with the Lamborghini, I'm not sure, but Lawrence Vanthoor now has dropped to the back of the GTP field, having spent significant time in the pit lane right there, and we'll try and get to the bottom of how bad the damage is and exactly where it came from. Sister car still leads with Julian Adlauer. That's now promoted Ricky Taylor up into second, and Alex Palou is third as we head back down to the pits. It's snowy.
Yeah, just a very quick thing on the JDC Miller 963 Porsche number 85 car. That just came in for what I thought was a splash and dash. It wasn't. It didn't do anything other than they tried to loosen the rear wing because the engine deck rear cover was loose, so there was something not right, and it was quite literally just a readjustment of bodywork. So keep an eye on that yellow non-Evo 963. There's something a little bit awry in the bodywork, so the panels don't quite fit for some reason.
We'll go back to the pitch in a moment, but we've got a couple of reports coming in about the source of that damage. Evidently, that happened early in the race. Kevin Esther reporting contact with an LMP2 car in the opening hours, so that's something they've been carrying for some time and felt like now was the time to try and make some repairs. Meanwhile, Rahal Letterman Lanigan making a pit stop, and Duncan Diston is watching.
That Yuri Vit's going to be getting into that car, and that's a very slick driver change. Also Turner Motorsport coming in just in front of them, and we've got the Triarty car going, and this is a very busy flurry of pit stops. And what I can tell you is the McLaren almost blocked in by the BMW just at the angle, but it's just a splash and dash for the BMW. They're not doing any tyres and they're not doing a driver change. The McLaren's still on the pit apron as Rexy makes its way out onto the track as well. And the amount of pickup, Ryan, you should see it, that the mechanic can pull off that front grille. So that said, that's so important in the last report because you don't want that letting them temperatures go up or affecting the brake temperatures as well. But a nice slick stop from the RL as the car comes off the jacks. And so far so good, a good showing from the McLaren in its return to the Rolex 24.
Yuri Vips about to make his Rolex 24 debut. First ever sports car race for the ex-Red Bull Junior driver. Made his way as far as Formula 2, then shifted his career stateside. Made a couple of starts for the Rahal team in IndyCar over the last few seasons, and has served as their reserve driver now for a couple of years. I think we've got a chance to hear from some drivers who just jumped out of the cars. Back to Duncan in the pits.
Yeah, absolutely. He stepped at the car like a gazelle. He was across the pit wall. Team McDonald, congratulations. A good solid start to the race for you guys there, by the looks of it.
Yeah, obviously it's pretty tricky trying to manage the P cars. But yeah, I can't complain too much. You know, it's obviously hard to tell what people are doing and tyre strategy wise. So yeah, I think we just got to run our own race and see where we are there. But yeah, so far so good.
What was your last words on the radio to Yuri? A little bit of advice on the car?
Really, there's not much to say on the car. It feels quite well balanced. So I don't think you'll struggle at all out there.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Oh, it's a slower pit stop for the RLL team. They have been done with the initial service for quite some time, but the car was still stationary for an extended period of time. So, Duncan, if you have a chance to figure out what the cause of that might be, I'd appreciate it. Maybe some track position would have been able to stay on the lead lap. Wave by underway now, which means we are closing in, Bruce, on a resumption of activity. This full course yellow again for the stopped Risi Competizione Ferrari and picked up some damage. Apparently contact with another GT car, possibly another Ferrari, but Daniel Serra got the worst of it.
Yeah, he really did. And in fact, you know, last night we were sitting around having supper, and we were discussing, you know, which cars may rise to the top. I can't remember if it was you. Someone said Rinty competency, Annie, and if it's going to happen, that's been a bit of a setback.
We'll get a couple more updates from the pits. We'll start with Snowy and then to Duncan.
Yeah, I've just caught up with a very slim pit stop here for the 75 Express AMG Mercedes, and Will Power has just jumped out of that into that car, so obviously no point in talking to him. But I can talk to Kenny Havel, who's just got out of it. You've finally got a bit of water. I'll give you a couple of minutes. A chaotic first couple of hours of Daytona 24-26.
Yeah, surprisingly, a lot of crashes early on, first lap. I don't know what that's about. Very aggressive out there. Just, you know, as usual, the prototypes. Mate, you've never seen a bigger bunch of pelicans in your life than those guys. They have no concept of being professionals, no concept of 24 hours. The way they attack, the risks they take, they chop everyone, they hit the GTDs. I got door tapped 3 times, I got pushed into the marbles twice. You know, sooner or later, IMSA just has to man up and just say to these guys, look, it's your race and it's our race. You know, this is not NASCAR where you just go and sideswipe one and then you get a medal for it.
But apart from that side of it, did you enjoy driving the car? How's the car?
The car's good, yeah, the car's good, strong. No issues. I had a little spin there trying to pass somebody. I got door closed on me. But kept going, and lap times were good. They told me the lap times are right up the front, 48s. So happy. Everything good so far.
Thank you for your time, Kenny.
Yeah, the Penske car once again in the pit lane, the same work on the same side being done. I got here just a little bit late, but that was quite a lengthy stop for them, and I'm going to try and get a little bit more information from the actual team. Also, the McLaren, the 59 car, had TPMS sensor issues, so he couldn't go on track until that had all been cleared up, and unfortunately, he's back in the pit lane.
I wonder if that might be rearing its ugly head once again. They have the right vertical door open. 2 crew members currently peering inside. And that's the way it looked as well before they released the car moments ago. So this is what we talked about, Bruce. We were wondering, a team that is new to this car, there's a lot to learn. High-tech cars these days, even in the GC class. And now maybe learning on the fly here with tire pressure monitoring system issues in the pits.
Yeah, and then of course if you're only running one car, the pressure is all the greater. You can't trade off and get some experience and knowledge from the other car, but fingers crossed for them. But Kenny Harville, the car is colourful, and he's a colourful character too. And I've never heard other drivers described as a bunch of pelicans before. But Ron Fenno's Daytona legend, you know, you came in the box and immediately put a smile on your face. But you knew what he meant.
You've had some moments, I'm sure, over the course. You've had some moments in your career as well. You got to come up with some creative language to describe situations like that when someone comes to the microphone right when you get out of the car.
Yeah, invite your tongue. Yeah.
Sometimes easier said than done.
Yeah, no, very, very much so. Yeah, depending on the time. Yeah. Especially, getting out of the car right away. Yeah, your adrenaline charged and still not happy. It's part of it. You see it in all sports. Motorsport's no different.
100%. Now, let's cut to the chase. GTD Pro Battle was absolutely fantastic. You're wearing obviously a Corvette racing shirt. They were running first and second in class. One of the Ford Mustangs right under their rear wings, and McLaren until its latest little problem was right with it. It was a fantastic battle.
Yeah.
And they've got 5 cars, 4 manufacturers, covered by 3 seconds.
Yeah. It's super close. It's like that all the time. And this is the 5th caution you had? 4th?
We're racking them up.
Yeah. Crazy. So you got to know that it's going to be a long race. So you just be patient. High percentage moves. There's no lose a few seconds in a high percentage weight, or you take a chance and it's a low percentage and you lose 3 or 4 laps. So it's one of those, especially this early and as busy as it is. And part of it is all the classes. It's super close. So it's tough to get away, and yeah, you just got to be. Everybody's got to be patient. I see Antonio's in the 3-car now. Yeah, it's going to be a great race.
It is, and very early on, you sometimes see people, they've just been incredibly fortunate. They got in the pits just before a full course yellow, they contain the full tank of fuel, and then it seems in the 24-hour race, the next time around, the next time there's a chance for someone to have a game, it's not them, it's the other back. But, you know, you've got to keep chipping away. What would be your way, if you were the team boss, would you say every time we've got a possibility to come in and top up, we do that? Or would you go, well, I suppose it depends who's immediately around you on the track.
Yeah, it's always, I mean, it also depends on where you are in the fuel cycle. You know, my pit strategy was listening on the radio from inside the car. So yeah, it was. But typically, you'll. I mean, if you're sort of halfway through a tank of fuel and there's a caution, tires are okay. Yeah, generally you're going to come and top up. You know, some in that range there. But I mean, you want to keep running. But it also depends on where you are in the length of the tires, too.
We've got a restart coming imminently, but a chance to hear from Ernst Corrado from Porsche Penske to get an update on the damage. Duncan, what have you found out?
Yeah, Porsche Penske very open with what's going on here. And Urs, thank you for your time. Can you tell us what's actually the issue right now?
Yeah, the head came in his last stint. It was just before the pit stop with a contact with one of the GT cars, and yeah, we used the yellow to repair it. There was a good repair. Boys did a great job on it.
Thank you very much for your time, Urs. Thank you.
Appreciate their openness and their candor, sharing that information with us. It's the sister car that leads as we go green once again at Daytona. Julian Adlauer from Ricky Taylor, from Alex Palou, from Jordan Taylor. That's the top 4 in GTP. Behind them, this field fanning out 3 and 4 wide in the run down to turn number 1. The fight, though, is now on for second place as the IndyCar champ, Alex Palou, challenging Ricky Taylor for second place. He's to the inside into the kink, and Taylor has no recourse but to give way. Put the Acura up to second, their best track position of the race so far, and it's not over yet for Ricky Taylor, who now has his brother breathing down his neck. Jordan Taylor starting to close in, fighting for the final step of the podium, albeit with 21 hours and 35 minutes still to go. Further back, a spin. This is an LMP2 car. This is the 04 Crown Strike by APR machine that has spun off their second spin of the race already, Bruce. Doesn't appear to pick up any damage, but able to continue on.
No, I thought we were going to have more spinners because the 5th car down into turn 1, AJ Allmendinger, a big lock-up. He controlled all that, but that move by Alex Palou, he's always had a bit of an interesting week with the court case and everything, but he's had to compartmentalise that, obviously to do with his IndyCar contracts. Rod, for you, I'm not suggesting you have such big lawsuits around you, but I mean, just in terms of trying to go, I've got to come here and focus on what I need to do. With something like that, Max Powder, you must not be the best of approaches.
Yeah, no, it's probably it's actually easier because this is what you do. This is what you love to do. This is where you're you find it easy to focus and concentrate. It's your home. So I'm sure Alex has no trouble doing what he needs to do when it's time to drive.
Another car in stride, Fielder Motorsports, their Porsche 911, number 123, with a great deal of smoke coming out of the back. It's Dave Musial Jr., currently behind the wheel, making his WeatherTech Championship debut. This looks significant, Bruce, no question about it. He's on the backstretch right now, trying to get back, but that car listing over to the right. And Ron, the expert, lets us know right rear, no question about it. Now we have a clean look at it. And he's going to have his work cut out to try and lift that car back to the pits without doing any additional damage.
Yeah, well, the good news is he doesn't have to go up to the bank.
It's different from your day when that was all grass before.
Yeah, he can stay on the flat. So just make sure the tire doesn't come apart and tear the rest of the bodywork up, and you'll be good.
Yeah, again, keep cool, keep calm. Julian Adler, what a getaway he's had. As Ron Fellows joins us in the booth. His number 7 Porsche Penske Motorsport 963, 1.6 seconds there at the start of the lap. Up into second place, Alex Palou. Third place, demoted to third place, the number 10 Cadillac of Ricky Taylor, ahead of brother Jordan in 4th. AJ Allmendinger keeping a second Acura in that top 5 in 5th place overall. Then Earl Bamber, Philip Heng, We move down to the board of BMW and Sheldon van der Linde. They complete the top 8. Yes, Martin Valkyrie still in there in 9th place overall in the 2 Porsche 963. Caleb Frederick now on board the JDC Miller car and back to the back of the pack. We just heard from Urs Karatli explaining why the number 6 Porsche Menschke overboard entry of Lawrence Van Toor is back down there. They did the repair. It cost them time. It cost them track position. But they've got it done.
Ron, we want to be cognizant of your time as the tire carcass now has escaped the Porsche that's lifting its way back. It's still off the racing line to the inside. An oval turn 3 would appear. But Ron, just to close with you, you've been here, you've been coming here for a long time, racing here, and now in your role with Corvette Racing. How has this event evolved, and how proud are you to see the health of sports car racing? That grid we had today, unbelievable. The car count, but also the fans that are here.
Yeah, no, it's just gotten bigger and bigger, especially, you know, coming out of COVID. You know, we saw that north of the border as well with our event, Chevy Grand Prix at Kennington Motorsport Park. It just, there was such an appetite to get back out to the event, and the momentum hasn't stopped. And you look at the quality of the grids, you know, you see increasing numbers of manufacturers and teams. It's awesome to see.
Does it make you wish you could climb back in a race car, be a part of it?
I told him I'm good, but I'm only good for maybe a 15-minute stint. I'm 68 years old.
Fair enough.
Many years still to go, be sure of that. But yeah, I mean, but I think that moment that you're here, and it all just makes sense from a driver's point of view. Just this brilliant stage to come and play on.
Yeah. No,
but also that moment, Ron, if I can, sorry, cut across you there. You were talking about after COVID racing started. Those first 2 races when spectators were allowed in, you realise they haven't seen anything in the flesh for 2, possibly 3 years. The smiles on people's faces since then, it's building up. I've bumped into people here. The crowd here is really spectacularly good today. Yeah. And it's taken a few years, and people are going, oh, I really want to do that. Yeah. Next year I'll go and do it. And I spoke to one chap, he just decided on a whim 3 days ago to come here.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah, and you look at how big the crowd was at Petit Le Mans last year. Had to close the gates, couldn't let any more people in. It's just incredible, and that's what you want to see. And that's what makes it healthy. If there's nobody watching, guess what? None of us are going to be racing either.
And is a good point. Well, Ron Fellows, Corvette racing legend, pleasure to have you up here in the booth with us. If you'd like to stick around and enjoy the view for a little while, feel free to do so. But it's been fantastic to have your company and your insight here for a little while.
Yeah, it was very cool to see the old number 2 from 2001 and the number 3 in the Chevy Experience Center. I haven't seen the baby for a while, and to reunite with that car from 2001 and our big win then, it was awesome.
Memories come flooding back.
Indeed.
Yeah, yes. The livery's still super crisp, almost glowing enough as we look down from the grandstand opposite.
Beautiful yellow.
It is indeed, as they are still today. That's Ron Fellows joining us here.
Thanks, guys.
The broadcast center. With that, let's turn the focus back to the track here for a few moments. We've been allowed to take a breath, settle down slightly as the race has settled into a rhythm since the restart. Julian Andlauer has pulled the gap now, like you alluded to, Bruce. 2.5 seconds clear of Alex Palou, who worked his way around Ricky Taylor. A.J. Allmendinger now has the sister Meyer-Shank Racing Acura, number 60, up into 4th spot. He got around Jordan Taylor a few laps ago, and Earl Bamber has done the same. So the recovery nearly complete for Action Express and Whelen Engineering, the car that got sent to the back after post-qualifying tech inspection, found to wear the skid plate too much, then had a drive-through penalty in hour 1 as well. They've made their way back into the top 5.
And included the run across the grass towards turn 3 for Jack Aitken. So really good progress. Let's just blow the trumpet if I may, but in GTD, it's Turner Motorsport to the front in their BMW M4 GT3. Patrick Gallagher, Tom Gamble tucked in behind the Heart of Racing team, number 27 Vantage GT3. So 2 different mates, and a while ago, of course, it was the Mercedes leading that class, but Winwood Racing has fallen down the order a little bit there. But just remember, we've seen great pace from that car. Will we see it working its way back up? And certainly Russell Ward is having such a run.
Battle through the infield as the Heart of Racing charging forward. This is in their GTD entry. Tom Gamble trying to chase down Pat Gallagher in the leading Turner BMW just got around the 14 Master Sullivan Lexus that's in the GTD Pro class, but needed to get through the Pro class traffic to try and draw a bead on the leader in his class. A couple of incidents that are being reviewed. We mentioned the fact that we thought there was contact between Risi and Triarsi. That incident is under review. It has been for quite some time. 62 and 033, the two cars involved. That is Triarsi's GTD Pro entry, the car in question. We also got word that there was an incident perhaps that led to that cut tire for the Mueller Motorsports Porsche. They were possibly involved with the 16 car.
Roman Grosjean's listed as the driver at the moment, but a short while ago has there been a driver change since. But anyhow, certainly penalty is a drive-through for car number 16.
Yes, incident responsibility for contact with the Mueller Porsche, so that will delay the Myers-Riley Motorsports Ford Mustang somewhat. A car that's been pretty strong, quite frankly, through the build-up to this event. Sheena Monk started it, and they've been making some progress back up through the field.
I must say, actually, it's already quite a long way down the order, but simply because they also had a drive-through penalty in the opening hour for a tyre pressure infraction, if you remember. So the car that, in my eyes, looks, it's just coming into the pits now. Red is the lower half, black over the hood, white on the roof. It looks like a late 1960s Ford Mustang Trans Am racer. So I love those evocative liveries, and that's one of the crispest in the race. So full marks to the Myers-Riley Motorsport crew for that one.
Ryan Yardley was in the 123 car, the Milner Motorsport car, sorry, the number 123. Then you had a little bit of contact out there. What happened?
Yeah, it just looks like there's a yellow flag at turn 5, and looks like Junior got a little hit there in the right rear, and it punched the tyre. So yeah, sucks to happen so early, but at least it happened early, and hopefully we can recover in the race.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you want. Car feel okay once, so obviously you've handed the car over, but everything okay?
Yeah, for me, I haven't driven the car yet, so yet to jump in for my stint, but yeah, they put a new tyre on, and as far as I'm aware, everything else feels okay.
I've watched a good few pit stops, and I keep seeing lots and lots of pickup getting taken out the air intakes and up the radiators. What's it like trackside if you accidentally go offline?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tricky with a lot of the marbles and the pickup, especially as we get into the night, so definitely one thing to be careful of is try to stay on line the best you can, especially in those safety car periods, and make sure yeah, you are in line with as best you can be.
Thank you very much. Good luck for your stint.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Duncan Vincent down in the pit lane, part of our 4-member pit lane team. Ford Racing Global Broadcast Center voices that you're hearing. I'm Ryan Marine. Bruce Jones is alongside with 21 hours, 25 minutes, and 10 seconds to go in the 64th Rolex 24 at Daytona. Battles going on all throughout this field, including in GTD Pro, where the two most famous, arguably, Porsche liveries in the world, the Coelho from Bandai, Rexy from AO Racing, they found each other on track. Quite frankly, Bruce, it's not been the week that either of those two accomplished teams would have hoped for, but here they are, fighting it out, and still plenty of time to try and make their way to the front.
You can never discount. But I just want to run you through the driving strength in Rexy. Green one, of course, has such fame here running behind the Grello, which is the green and yellow car so famous for its successes on the Nürburgring. Mighty track in the middle of Germany. But AO Racing, Nick Tandy's last year's winner, of course, he was the DTP car then, but he's settling in. Hasn't been too buoyant, but he's had a great run in the opening stint. Handed over to Harry King, young British Porsche racer who's really getting his global wings. And alongside, in fact, when you look at the 911, the Grello Porsche they're giving chase to, Thomas Preining yet to get in the car. Klaus Beckler yet to get in the car. The two Austrians being kept back. But Ricardo Bella started, and then Chip Guven, just this fantastically fast, really robust DTM champion, a Turkish racer, is having a really good scrap. Yes, right, air temperature is beginning to drop a little bit, and it's been a fantastic Saturday here at Daytona. But I think this GTD battle is going to run and run, and certainly it's looking very good indeed. The overall battle of GTD Pro, well, let's wave the flag. It's the Evo Mustang first and second. Seb Prio making his father very proud indeed, leading the way from fellow Brit Ben Barker. Then come the two Corvettes. Remember, they were running first and second. Tommy Milner and Antonio Garcia. So much success. This preventing feeling an outright win really very long time ago. They are third and fourth.
Well, I've had a chat, I know some of them the same down the garage. I've had a quick chat with the guys at the RNL McLaren. Excuse the noise in the background. The cars are trying to work. It is an electrical system. They think it might have started with the TPMS, with the tire pressure monitoring system, but that apparently is affecting something else. So it's a little bit more than just whether it's got tire pressure. Now, obviously, that's kind of like a safety issue. It's telling you that there's not a great deal of confidence in the driver if you're telling you your tire pressure's going down and it's not. So they've got to go and do a bit more than that and a bit of investigation. So it's back in the paddock, and it'll be quite a time before that car's back getting it. But they are working on it with every intention of getting it back in the race.
Appreciate that update. Peter Snowden down in the pits. Graham Doyle a moment ago with a wild ride through the grass in the infield in the Lamborghini Huracan from Wayne Taylor race. Able to recover, continues on, but hard in the throat moment there momentarily for the young driver. Meanwhile, another update from the pits. Let's head to Duncan.
Yeah, the Dragon Speed number 81 car here. Giacomo Alto has just handed over to Henrik Hedman, and great to see you looking nice and fresh. I'm going to say, not be too bothered by the heat out there, but how was the stint for you in the car?
I mean, I did already a double stint, so the start was a little bit chaotic with all of these contacts and car in the middle of the road, so we had to stay careful to avoid everything and to be safe. And yeah, we are running. We are currently around P13, 14, so yeah, we try to do our race, still early stages, so we take it easy and we see.
Did you have any words of wisdom that you could hand over to Henrik before you got in the car and headed for his stint?
Yeah, I gave a few information to the team for Henrik, and yeah, to give some input on the driving style to use and got up to the car, and we see. Yeah.
So what do you do now? A little bit of food, a little bit of rest, water?
For sure, a shower straight away, and then a little bit of food, and we'll be watching the race from the TV. That's what I do. Thank you.
On time, Ferrari associated driver, not affiliated directly, but drove Ferrari for a long time, including last year with Dragon Speed. They make the switch to Corvette. They liked him so much they brought him with them, and for good reason. He's awfully quick when he gets plugged into a DT3 car. Major penalty here, Bruce. He's just one of the front runners early on in GTD Pro. 75 Express. Kenny Hopplestein, a stop plus 100, I think it was. It was a significant time penalty, and that was for exceeding the stint energy regulation.
It was a big hit. That is a fumble. Already we had Kenny Harble getting out and driving other drivers. Pelicans dive bombing him, and all the other GT class. So I was just seeing a message that car number 2 is being pushed behind the wall. I look down from my lofty commentary position, and indeed that is the case. It's being pushed back through. That's an LMP2 car. Phil Fair was the driver who started off at United Autosport. They have not had the dream run at 2026.
No, that's the car that was caught up. It really got the worst of the damage in that turn 1 coming together. Lap 1 of the race. Car spent significant time behind the wall in the opening hour. They've been able to get back out in certain laps, but they are well down the order, and their day has gone from bad to worse. Now back behind the wall once again. Leaders in traffic, Bruce.
Absolutely so, carving their way through, but this is the moment of potential jeopardy. The lights getting a little lower in the driver's face as they go up towards the western horseshoe. Obviously trying to already on the screen, not to buck smash there, but when you're running through a group of P2s and DT cars, you've got to keep yourself very, very careful and clean. Julian Atlow leading the race by 3.7 seconds, then 2 Acuras. Now in second and third place, Alex Palou, car number 93 for Acura Meyer-Shank Racing, and then car number 60 from Acura Meyer-Shank Racing. That's the one with AJ Allmendinger on board.
Yeah, just a quick stop into the box of the United Autosport number 2. There's a very small fire, because he has been preventing some grease come out, and obviously that catches fire in the pit stop. But the drivers had been complaining of a soft brake pedal, and that's something as a race car driver or even a road car driver you do not want. So that has to go back to the garage. You have to fix it, you have to delete the brakes. It's a bit of a continuation of what happened at the start.
that's the trouble with these things. Misfortune can compound upon itself. That appears to be the case for one of United Autosport's 2 entries. The good news for the team is their second car. The day didn't start great. They missed the recon lap, a little late getting out there. They were sent to the back of the class, but they slowly but surely worked their way forward. And right now, Gregoire Soucy currently holds the second spot in LMP2, chasing PJ Hyatt. How about it? A lot of the teams have elected to take their bronzes out of the car. They have not in AO Racing. PJ stays in and still has been able to hold off some of these silvers and even higher rated drivers that are in a few of the lineups as he continues his ascension through the ranks in LMP2. PJ's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it has been really quite a story. I mean, being caught by about 2 seconds of that by Gregoire Soucy, so it is borrowed time, but it's eating through PJ's drive time. And that's given him the ability to relax through the night and then come in for who knows how long towards the end. But every lap he does in this stint, that just means he's got less to do later in the race. And he's listened to them, and he's leading at Daytona. That is an accolade. They left him out because he was leading. He could have been brought in for a driver change, but why? When you've got clear track ahead of him and no one immediately behind him, would you bring him in? I think it's being very, very sensible. The 99 crew from AO Racing, but Gregoire Soucy is closing in with pretty much every timing sector. So, yeah, we could very soon have a change in LMP2.
The highs and lows of motorsport, really. United Autosport 2 is having a disaster, but 22 actually running very well. I've got Rasmus Lind with me just now, and you obviously are very much aware of what's happening with the sister car. But for you guys, how is everything going out? Is it going to plan?
Yeah, I don't know with the sister car actually. Very unfortunate for them in the start. Phil actually did a good job to get out of the wreck, which looked like, but he got hit by the 11 car, sounds like. So not sure what's going on with them, but off to a good start. We just kind of cycling through everything now, just trying to be quite conservative. We have many hours to go, but so far so good.
Gregoire Soucy in the car just now. I mean, is he going to double stint it or what's the plan?
Yeah, we'll see. We're still in the end down drive time, so looks like a double, but we'll see.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. Thank you.
Our second official retirement, Bruce. Reese Cavacizione, winners of this event in GTD Pro as recently as 2024. The damage too much to overcome out of the race, the second retirement.
Well, just think of one thing. The message got sent through to Daniel Serra to slow down the way back in. He looked to have done that, and then the team went, no, there's too much damage being done by that flaming tyre carcass. Stop the car. So he got all the way around to the penultimate corner to Speedway 3, had to park it on the apron down below the line. They got the car back, but too much damage. Second retirement, that will be gutting, because that driver strength, Daniel Serra, Davide Rigo, who started it, and the absolute star in the car, Alessandro Pierguidi, he can't look at a race without thinking, I'm probably going to win that. The raw averages, you know what? He pretty much has over the past decade. He's been the predominant Ferrari driver in GT competition. He didn't take part in the race. He will be less than happy.
And for good reason. You're right. That driver lineup was one that you had to circle coming into the weekend and think if the car is in the window, that's a trio that can take it home and maybe bring home a Rolex wristwatch. By the way, Rolex re-upping with Daytona. That was announced here this week, and will continue that partnership for many years to come. Multi-year extension is how it was termed in the press release.
Now, one thing I want to pick up on, 5-10 minutes ago when Monfello's was up here, we were looking at little Porsche back. Not the very sharp end of GT Pro, but we had Harry King, car number 77, that's AO Racing's Renzi. And he was fighting with Ihatsu Guman. Guman has moved about 4 cars further ahead, taking the number 911 entry from Manthey Racing, the one he shares, the one that was started by Ricardo Pella. He is now up into 6th place in GTD Pro class, but he's closing in all the time. And the next 4 cars in front of him, the second of the Mustangs, Temprio, Tommy Milner in his Corvette, Antonio Garcia in his Corvette, Dan Harper in his BMW, are almost on the bonnet of the Turkish Racers car. Fabulous, just how it should be.
If you wind back a couple of hours, you'll remember seeing the TDS Racing number 11 car in Forza facing the wrong way at turn number 1. Toby Latka, can you just talk us through exactly what happened from the driver's seat?
Yeah, like the race start, I ended up, I was hit from behind a little bit, so spun the car and just turned around. And I think it hit the same, I hit the same car that hit me from behind. So after that, I got spun, I restarted.
and there was a car coming from the side, the United car, I think, which I did not see. And it's an unfortunate start to the 2026 season, but seems like everyone is repaired and back out on track, I hope. So
we saw a lot of visible damage to your car, but I take it was just cosmetic.
Yeah, there's maybe a little bit of residue, like alignment issue or so, but like I took the car out of the team, like just turned around really, really fast, took all the bad bits off, put the good bits on, and off we go. This is racing.
Toby, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Car still in the race, sitting 11th in class, 1 lap off of the class leader, but given the way that the IMSA rules are written, there's plenty of ways to get back on the lead lap and plenty of time to do it. David Heinemeier Hansen now driving that Orica for the team TDS Racing. Really strong team that won at Motul Petit Le Mans, the tail end of last year. Now, in GTD Pro, Bruce, we've been talking a lot about 1-2s at the top of the field, and American manufacturers have been well represented, but in recent laps, it's no longer the Chevy Bowtie out in front, but instead, a couple of Multimatic-built Fords.
The big blue oval at the front of the pack, but this is how it should be. This is the very essence of GT racing, manufacturer against manufacturer. And I'd really like to start talking intensely about Ford and Mustang, but I feel I have to suddenly switch over to Porsche. For why? We have another guest. Welcome, Timo. Great to have you here. Brilliant vantage position. What have you made of the race so far?
Thank you very much for the invitation, and it's a stunning view, I have to say, straight away, because the first time I'm up here with you on the grandstand, or above the grandstand, and I have a stunning view of the whole Daytona Speedway. So that's worth the trip already.
Not many racetracks where you can get up high and actually see just about every corner of the circuit. This is unique.
Exactly, yeah, that's very limited, and I feel a little bit for the spotters, you know, during night will be very cold. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I mean, so far the Porsche Penske Motorsport cars, they were running well. I mean, 1 and 2 after the start, we could break a little bit of a gap, and then we had to repair some bodywork parts of the car 6, and that's why we drove a bit back with this car, but car 7 keeps in the lead. So far so good, I'd say, but it's still early as we know.
Yeah, I mean, in the early stage of the race, you know, they pulled 15 seconds clear of everybody else. Then that's typical endurance racing. A little setback, but stay cool, stay calm, get it sorted, get back out there. And just looking at the recovery drive, the system car number 6, Lawrence Van Toor, he's put 1 car behind him, the Aston Martin Valkyrie. It's a long game, and it's so competitive at the top, but the way that Julian Adler, number 7, just gain a bit. He was very good on the restart. Suddenly got 1.5 seconds on that opening lap, then he found another and another. 3.5 seconds clear. But now, and that's all you can say in endurance racing, but now for Porsche Penske Motorsport, it's looking pretty useful.
Yeah, we have the pace. The team is doing a great job. I mean, you see that these group of people, I mean, they grow on each other. They're you know, evolving, and you see just everybody knows what to do, and there's a good procedure in place. And yeah, so that's the foundation, is the base. But we know competition is strong, and we know that over years, just recently this morning I talked about it, that the endurance racing also changed a little bit in recent years. So nobody will gain 1 lap, you know, and then can cruise. So I think it's like you need to be, you know, how can I say, each part of the race you need to be in good shape, you know, and then it all comes down to the last 2 or 3 hours. So that's, at the moment, we need to keep a cool head, and it's probably a bit different than 20 years ago.
One thing that struck me, if you were watching the start, it looks as though some of the drivers, particularly in the LMP2 class, are trying to win it on the opening corner. Yeah. And you know, all it takes is a bit of debris from that, and the next time you come round, you can pick it up. So that's something that was a little surprising to me, I must say.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's not what endurance racing is about. And yeah, I mean, things can happen, we know, but you know, the thing is get the race going, and then try to find your spot. And it will really, as we know, the last couple of years, it was really indeed the last 2 or 3 hours, or even less. You've got to have a sharp weapon. You've got to be in good place.
And one thing that's sort of focused my mind this week, when we arrived, I thought, well, it's quite warm, and it's much warmer than people expected. So that's something that obviously teams with experience like Porsche Penske Motorsport, they know. But in your mind, you're still coming here for temperatures that are maybe 15 degrees cooler. Okay, you adapt, but it's just surprising. And seeing people wandering around, here we are in January, just shirt sleeves, wearing shorts, almost feels like it's in spring, almost feels like March or April down here, but it looks good.
Yes. No, it's indeed, it's a change of compared to the Raw. I was not at the Raw present, I just arrived this week, early in the week, and temperatures change a lot. That's also a little bit the philosophy, how you set up the car, what kind of tires you use. We have a soft or a medium compound, so these are the things that you have to try to adapt, for different track conditions and different temperatures, but this can make a difference.
Yeah, huge, but it certainly seems in the warmer temperatures, Porsche have done their sums really rather well.
Yes. No. I think we're in good shape, but still, as we know, it's still too early. 21 hours, things can happen, so we gotta keep cool.
Timo Bernhard joining us, I believe, driver advisor for Porsche. That is the correct title.
Yes, I mean, I have multiple jobs to be honest, but I would say the main job is like being Porsche brand ambassador, which is for the press department. It's for the whole company, but for this program, I help the team management and the drivers.
So if you're embedded with the drivers, we know Porsche brought an update for 2026 with the 963. What have you heard from the factory drivers that are driving the updated car, and then uniquely, the JDC Miller car not running the update? So I don't know how much information is shared between the two programs, but are there some strengths and weaknesses across the two different platforms with the 963?
Well, I mean, the Aero update or the Evo update was done to help with the drivability, to have I think more consistency over the stint. So I mean, you will never make a huge gain, but you can always have these small little bits and pieces improve. And I think the key in endurance racing is consistency. In all different temperatures, we touched on it before. The car is like that you are going to say it's easier to set up and for the drivers to drive.
We're approaching 5 o'clock local time. That's when, we're getting close to when the teams in GTP are allowed to use the two different compounds of tires, the soft and the medium. How much testing has gone into gathering data? It's a new Michelin tire this year, gathering the data to know when is the right time to make the switch, and is the soft even a viable option with the temperatures as high as they are this year?
Michelin did a good job this year with introducing the updated soft compound, so I'm sure that we will see across the GTP class, we will see the softs. But this is kind of a bit of the game, like everybody thinks watching the competition, when they're going to start putting the softs and how it's going to work out. And I think there you will see differences and also the packages.
Yeah, and I think that's also when you see the difference between the GTD Pro lineups and the GTD regular lineup, because I think you've got more scope to do what you want on the tyre front with the